guys, Sean Hammond with PremierGuitar.com. We're at Winter NAMM 2016 in Anaheim, talking to Jeff from Boulder Creek Guitars. Jeff, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for coming here and spending some time with me.
Anytime. You guys have a few new guitars here and some basses, and let's talk about this one that you're playing right now.
What we've got here is an addition to our OM line in the Solitaire series. It's been a very popular series for us. It's a smaller size guitar, but it's got a very big sound. And it produces a very clear and balanced tone. One of the things that we've been asked over the last couple of years is do something in black. Some of the rock guys and some of the other people who, I mean, musicians, what musician doesn't like black? They've been asking for a black guitar. So this is kind of a prototype of that model. It's going to feature maple bindings and a maple purfling. This one here has an abalone purfling or a mother of pearl purfling, but it's going to be all just black with a nice, very fine and tasty maple finish. You can see on the sides how beautiful it looks with just the black and the maple. It's very clean and crisp. So this is going to be kind of a, I don't know, I kind of call it an anniversary model. This is our 10th year anniversary for Boulder Creek Guitars.
Congrats.
Fun, yeah, so thanks. And so this is one of the new models that we're going to have. Just going to add to that OM series.
Cool. What are the woods that are using this?
The woods are a spruce top and then rosewood back and sides.
So are those laminates or?
Solid top, solid back. Laminate sides.
Okay. And rosewood fretboard?
Rosewood fretboard, yes. And it's got 18-to-1 geared tuners, and that's a gunmetal kind of a chrome, so it kind of fits in with the black finish. So it's kind of got a cool look to it.
Cool. How about the preamp here? What's going on up there?
Preamp is our Boulder Creek preamp. It's got the built-in tuner. It's got the phase switch. It's got your tone balance, your treble, your mid, and your bass, and then it's got a brilliance switch so that if you're in a room where you want to brighten up the tone, if you're in carpeted rooms or with a low ceiling, you can kind of clean that up a little bit and make that sound more pronounced and clear. And then you got your volume control.
And then the other interesting thing about this, or one of the others, is that the other end of that is not just a 1/4-inch output, but XLR.
Yeah, so we have a 1/4-inch and XLR, which is really nice. So if you're playing on stage and your sound man doesn't want your amp mix, which most don't, you can run your 1/4-inch into your amp, use that as a monitor, and then run an XLR out to the house or to the sound man, and he can get the flat mix and do whatever he wants out front. And then our battery system in this guitar is right there, so if for any reason something goes wrong, you just pop it right out, pop it right in. It takes 2 seconds. You don't have to reach under the strings or flip something open to pop it out or whatever. It's just a really quick and easy system. So.
Cool, that's pretty unique. And speaking of unique, for those who aren't familiar with your guitars, they have unique bracing systems too, right? Should we grab the
grab the top right there?
Yeah, we got the underside of a top over here with the interesting, what do you call it, a floating?
It's a suspended bracing system. So the whole idea behind Boulder Creek Guitars was built on a suspended bracing system. And a short explanation of what we were thinking about when we did this is you don't cut a hole in the middle of a snare drum to make the sound come out of the snare drum. The drum head is the sound, what creates the sound in the drum. So the top of a guitar is the soundboard. That's what creates the sound. In our minds, we thought you cut a hole in the prime real estate of the soundboard and then you brace it with all this pre-scallop bore bracing, that was on there before. You're effectively kind of deadening the top because you have to support it to keep it from caving in from the 180 pounds of pressure from the strings. You need to have all that scallop bracing under there. With this system, it's suspended, and we've taken, other than just very small bracing to keep the top from cracking, this top won't move. It's not going to flex with weather conditions or anything else. And so it frees up the top to be able to resonate and sustain more. So the top on the inside of the guitar, which when you look in one of these in the side sound port, you can see the bracing on the inside, and it's there. When you strum the guitar, these tone bars and the way they're mounted creates a balance. So you get a complete balance in tone spectrum from the highs to the lows. So there's no dead spots. And then the aluminum tone bars pick up the resonance from the strings and they transmit that throughout the guitar. So the whole guitar becomes live. The whole thing, you can feel it throughout your whole body. And then the other byproduct of this system, and then having our sound ports the way they're set up, is that when you're playing live on stage, you don't get feedback. So you don't have to use a feedback buster in this guitar and choke the guitar out. putting a rubber feedback buster on there. When you do that, that's like, putting your hands all over the top of the guitar and killing your sustain. So these guitars don't feed back on stage. They will if you cranked it all the way up and stood right in front of an amp, but when you're playing in front of a monitor system or something like that, you don't have to keep your hands on the strings to keep the guitar from getting away from you. So those are some of the features that bracing system has lent itself to what we do.
Gotcha. So the rods are aluminum. What are the black brackets made of?
The black mounting brackets are made of Delrin, so similar to a Delrin pick. Okay. So it's a Delrin plastic. It's flexible, but it's very strong. And the aluminum is mounted in the Delrin, and then it's glued to the top. So it's very, very stable.
All right, cool. Glad we could recap that for everyone. You have one other new flat top up here, right?
Yeah, we do. One of the things that we had done with our series of guitars and basses is provide a koa instrument. Koa is a very beautiful wood. And I had always wanted a koa instrument for myself, but you're talking $6,000, $8,000, right? And what we had found was that with our bracing system, we could take a laminate koa guitar and make it sound like a solid top. The bracing affects the top so much that if I didn't tell people and you didn't have the eye to see that it was a laminate guitar, you really wouldn't be able to tell tone-wise because of the increased sustain and the way that the guitar sparkles when you strum it because of the bracing system. So what that's done is it's been able to provide us the ability to provide a koa guitar for $800 to people. So you can get a beautiful koa guitar that has beautiful wood in a Dreadnought series, which this is new. We've had the OM, we've had the jumbo, we've had the classical and the acoustic bass. We're going to add a Dreadnought to that mix. And so this Dreadnought has the dual port sound system in it as well. But it's a koa instrument, it's a koa Dreadnought, and it's not $6,000. And it's got all the positive features of the Boulder Creek. So
nice.
We're just adding one more number to the line, so just something for people who want that natural koa beauty.
Nice. Do you want to strum it real quick for us? Nice. All right, so let's talk about the 3 travel basses you have real quick.
So this is something that we've been planning on doing for quite a few years. The Boulder Creek acoustic basses have been awarded, we were a Music Press International top 3 bass in 2010 when we introduced these, and they've been very popular all over the world. And with the popularity of the smaller basses and the uke basses and stuff like that, we had gotten a lot of requests for a mini bass. So this year we've introduced the Boulder Creek travel bass, and we've done it in a scale size that's a little bit larger than some of the other ones that are out there. And the bassists that we've had that have tried these say that it's much more fun to play. It's a little bit bigger, they can feel it.
It intonates a little better?
It intonates a little better, they can play around on the neck, they don't feel so scrunched. The other ones are totally cool and they love them, but they say it's just not, it's cool and everything, but it's not comfortable to play, or they're not as comfortable. So these are a little longer scale. We've got something that's kind of in a familiar Dreadnought body style, something in a little bit of a larger, like a mini jumbo body style, and then when this is a prototype in a thin body telly style. And so there's some, just a little bit of a flavor for everybody. And so this is a real fun deal. One of our artists, Chris Donahue, who plays with Tom Jones, took one of these out on tour with him when he was playing with Iris Dement. And he had this bass and he had one of our other basses. And he had this little guy out there, and when I went to the show to see it, he actually was playing this in about 60% of the show. So it produces a big, fat, round, warm tone, and it's just fun, and it's compact. So for bassists that want to travel and play, you've got the dual port sound system, so acoustically you'll be able to hear yourself. It's got the pickup system. It uses the same system that we have in our ukuleles, so you got your tone balance, you got your volume, and you got a built-in tuner. But it's just a real compact and fun way to keep out there playing bass when you're traveling around on the road, or if you're just doing a gig where you don't want to carry a whole lot of equipment and you're going to do, a little pickup gig here and there. It's just fun to have. So
very cool. What's the price range on these?
These are going to be in, I think, the 379 Street, right around there.
For each of them? Yeah,
each of them are going to be right about there. That's where we're projecting them to be. This one is available right now, and these 2 are in the prototype phase. But yeah, 379 Street is where this is going to be.
Well, thanks for telling us about all this stuff, Jeff. Can you tell everyone where to go to find out more about all your guitars?
Well, you can go to bouldercreekguitars.com. Just visit our website, take a look at the guitars, the basses. There's great videos. Chris Donahue, who I was talking about, we've got videos of him playing. And there's been a lot of stuff going on at NAMM, so you never know what you're going to see in those videos. But come visit us. If you have any questions, give us a call. And thank you guys for coming and spending some time with me.
Welcome. Thanks, Jeff.
All right.
Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Sean Hammond for PremierGuitar.com.